Good day, everybody. Welcome to an introduction to ACG 6687. My name is Carl Pacini. 6687 is a course entitled Accounting Fraud, Conduct, and Procedures. It's the second fraud course that you would take in this program after taking 6686, which is fraud examination. I hold a doctorate in accounting from Florida State University, a law degree from the University of Notre Dame, and I am a CPA and a CFF, which is Certified in Financial Forensics. It's a designation awarded by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. ACG 6687 places an emphasis on the conduct of fraud examinations, including a discussion of specific procedures used in forensic accounting examinations and the reasoning behind the use of these procedures. Coverage extends to detection, investigation, and prevention of specific types of fraud committed against organizations, including nonprofits and individuals. Now, some of the objectives this course achieves include the following: to give students an appreciation of the scope, extent, and importance of fraud investigation techniques, the appropriate mindset necessary to be a fraud examiner, and this is very important. The forensic accounting student must learn to think like an embezzler, think like a thief without becoming one, because you have to be able to put yourself in a position to anticipate what the fraudster will do next. You need to get one step ahead of them if you're going to be able to catch the bad guy. And this course also gives you an overall view of a fraud investigation. Also, this course will allow you to gain an understanding of the significance of appropriate procedures and protocol in making decisions and solving forensic accounting problems. It will definitely give you an appreciation of the internet and other databases such as LexisNexis and ABI Inform, and it will allow you to develop the ability to recognize the potential problems which may arise in a doubtful or complicated situation and the necessity of consulting other experts. For example, if you are working a case with what may appear to be an altered or forged document, you should at least have the consciousness or awareness to be able to call in a forensic document specialist, or you should be able to know when to call in a lawyer or some other type of specialist like a real estate appraiser or a business valuation expert. Now, one of the topics that this course covers, just to give you a little bit of a real-world example, is asset tracing and forfeiture. The rate of recovery of stolen and hidden assets in the real world is quite low, based on available data. According to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners 2016 report to the Nations on Occupational Fraud and Abuse, 58% of victim organizations had not recovered any of their losses due to fraud, compared with 49% in 2012, and only 12% had made a full recovery. Now, if you are a fraud victim and I come up to you and I say, I just want you to know that that person who ripped you off is spending 10 years in jail, you'd probably say, hooray, hooray, that person got what they deserved. But if I gave you a choice between seeing the perpetrator go to jail or you getting your money back that was taken from you in some kind of scam, I would bet, even though you'd rather have both, if you could only pick one, you'd rather have your money back. Well, this course includes a unit on techniques to use, on tracing and freezing stolen and hidden assets. And some of the things you will learn are, first of all, do a cost-benefit analysis in deciding whether or not it's worth it to go after the the stolen or hidden assets, parties to whom to trace assets, assuming that you make the decision to go after them. And then you actually get into talking about conducting asset tracing, including obtaining and using basic identifying information and places to search for assets, particularly on a domestic basis, because when you go offshore into places like the Cayman Islands or the British Virgin Islands, the rules change because they're different sovereignties, different countries, and they have their own sets of laws. We discuss business entities, financial institution records, LexisNexis reports from the commercial version of LexisNexis, which is a treasure trove of data with regard to potential targets or suspects who may have committed fraud against an individual or organization. We also teach you where you can find various court records for those who have already been involved in commercial or civil litigation. Other sources of information would include all kinds of free and proprietary databases where you can dig up all kinds of information on people, their associates, their relatives, their children, etc. And we talk about various places that fraudsters try to hide assets. And this is in some of the entities they use, like limited liability companies, family limited partnerships, to hide their illegally gotten proceeds. This is just one example of the important type of material that you will learn in taking this course. And this kind of information can also help you in divorce cases, which are common across this country, when you have one spouse who is trying to hide assets from the other spouse so that the spouse hiding the assets gets more than their fair share of property owned by the married couple. I hope you decide to enroll in FAU's master's program and take some forensic accounting courses. The program's been around since 2003. I think you would find it to be a life-changing experience. I certainly have found it to be teaching in it. I've learned more from my students than they've probably learned from me. Thank you very much.